evening. My name is Jonathan Newell. That is spelled Newell. Today's topic will be solving the problems which plague our court system of judicial activism, including that which impacts the North Carolina state prison systems and in general. I am coming with ideas which would be in keeping with 14 years of incarceration while serving a life without parole sentence. With primaries coming May 16th in North Carolina, a couple of candidates have raised red flags with the inmates and pose a risk to your freedoms. One such problem belongs with the recent Roe versus Wade kerfuffle going on in our U.S. Supreme Court. And recent decisions in 2020 under Bostock versus Clayton County, which gave more rights to the LGBTQ community, it now has reversed towards women's rights under Roe versus Wade with a leakage of information. However, matters at hand, we have a good defender in Kamala Harris. She is the Xena warrior princess of the political realm, and I am certain in her capabilities to handle the acumen of the law, while Joe Biden works on social justice issues that the Gen Z are interested in dealing with. In North Carolina, we have a similar former Supreme Court Justice, Chief Justice, Ms. Beasley. Beasley was aware of the majority of inmates were being denied medical services and other related issues in the courts of MARs, which are appeals, and collateral attacks on appeals. And Ms. Beasley is now running for Congress. I seriously doubt Beasley, a former Chief Justice of the North Carolina Supreme Court, would be willing to work with the Biden administration. And therefore, because of these things, black and brown inmates and citizens at large, especially black and brown women, are at risk of losing their rights because of what's known as judicial activism, which is when a judge takes their own matters in their own hands of their own preferences based on their religious motives and other issues that are not within the mean of our society. Therefore, we must work diligently to point out what we as citizens believe are our rights and work towards that. While Beasley has single-handedly hidden the trial court's procedural errors by creating rules and turning a blind eye to this, the leakage by unknown sources has caused us to come to this point we are today in dealing with these issues. Now, with the passions aroused by the people, we must keep in mind of the current trends in our society, which would entail that which is going on in Russia. And in Russia, the hackers could have worked towards these leakages and other issues involved. Because after an example of Sweden turning towards NATO, a series of incidents where Qurans were burned caused an upheaval of their communities. And therefore, Putin, who is shrewd with his lightsaber rattling of his nuclear weapons now, would not dare strike the United States, but is known for hacking. And we must be diligent to determine what caused these leakages. Though it's not an actual decision by the U.S. Supreme Court, it is something that was in the mind of one of the court officers. Now, Biden is in position to appoint, but at this present moment, there are no places on the U.S. Supreme Court to appoint, though he has control over the appointment of other court officers and justices and judges in the appeals courts and in the U.S. district courts for the federal. And therefore, a restructuring to prevent judicial activism would be apropos to the situation to protect the rights of black and brown women and Caucasian American women. I feel it's necessary that we actually deal with these issues as men, because women are not the only ones who should be fighting this. As I myself, a inmate with prostate health care issues, my reproductive health care was impinged by denial of court access in state courts to complain of the problems, and had to go, thankfully, to the U.S. District Court while paying $350 and have Judge Devers make an off-record determination that caused the state to engage the services that are owed to me and other male inmates who have reproductive health care issues under prostate care and health care. This is very similar and close to that of women's reproductive health care rights under Roe versus Wade, and we must stand together to help women with these issues. And I think it is very crucial for men to work towards these goals instead of objectifying women, instead of slaking their thirst. They should stand up and speak up as brothers, fathers, and husbands. Thankfully, Kamala Harris's husband, the second gentleman of the United States, Doug Emhoff, is in her corner. One thing that men can do while women go through these issues is dishes and laundry. That would immensely help them a lot. Though I guess dishes and laundry would be a wise idea. And working towards finding real men who will step up to the plate and speak on behalf of women. Our society is built off the entertainment industry and its influencers, and men such as Dwayne Johnson, who wants to go into the political realms at some point, and Kanye West, who wants to go into the political realm at some point, should be working towards holding conferences with men to speak up on behalf of women. Well, women are going through these things, and they're standing up and speaking out on both sides of the aisle. It is good and would be good if women get together to remember but one thing. We are now at a standpoint in our society where the rights of women are real. And the answer to this question is simple. At current, we should come together, both sides, for women, and shake hands and admit that we do not need to agree on every issue. Though the rights of women are an issue that should not be thrown away or truncated. So we need to work together and look at the real situation going on. But for North Carolina, Sherry Beasley is one who you would think would want to help, though her history has not shown this. Current new women that will help in North Carolina that are wanting the duties of protecting your rights would be Maida Alam and Valerie Fouché. Both women definitely have what it takes to protect the rights of women while working with the Biden administration and working both sides of the aisle, along with Kelly Daughtry, who knows all too well of the North Carolina Republican courts and their dangers for the North Carolina Supreme Court. Therefore, women and most black and brown men, such as Don Davis, could do the job. And for North Carolina, these issues are important to all persons. As for the situation with Roe versus Wade, to the pro-life and pro-choice groups, I will say, for the pro-life, you're based off your Christian beliefs or other beliefs. A Christian is best effective when not mocking or harassing, but understanding and having empathy and loving on them, knowing that their rights are being cut short. Because during the pandemic, when churches were shut down, you had complained of your constitutional rights were violated, but there is no constitutional right to places of brick and mortar. And those who are pro-choice, who you see crying over their rights to their body and their autonomy, they could use you right now, at least in the form of compassion. So to women, I say I am sorry for the decisions that may be made or currently are in consideration. You have rights, and you should embrace them. And your freedom of speech is one such right that you are embracing right now. And we should go with our influencers and all other members of society to work together in peace. That we have come to the point that we've been shown that we've expanded as a nation in the rights of women, in their voice, in their vote, all other matters. And as for men, I only can ask you to give consideration to having other avenues of a voice in supporting these women. Let's be concerned for the welfare of others as well for ourselves as just as adequate. And therefore, let us go forth in the morrow to look what is best for our nation. And let us find peace. And let us pray for the welfare of Brittany Griner and the LGBT community. And may we find peace, and may we become strong allies with our current adversary. And may one day we actually have peace with Russia without Vladimir Putin. Beyond that, I say with this in the scope, I hope everybody has a blessed day. God bless. Amen.